This is Tony Chimmel, and I'd like to introduce the hosts of the Game Marks podcast, George Feis and Johnny Clash.
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast, where each and every week we take a deep dive into the good, the bad, and the awesome of all things wrestling video games. I'm the man they call Johnny Clash.
And I am George Feis, and today we are playing WWE 13.
And please subscribe and leave a 5-star review for this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and follow us on all forms of social media at Game Marks Pod. What is crazy is we're only going to say that whole spiel one more time. We are winding down, folks.
This is it's getting real, John.
It's getting real.
The last couple of episodes of the podcast, it is getting real. And hey, this is a big one. This was one that we've talked about on and off podcasts for, better part of 5 years. And today we're finally doing it. WWE 13, a game that we both have some fond memories. I think we may have touched on it here and there on the podcast, some stories
that we'll get into.
But before we do that, let's talk about last episode where we played the first Fire Pro Wrestling game ever made. Fire Pro Wrestling combination tag. How are you feeling 2 weeks out?
It's always good to play a Fire Pro. We both gave it the double play forever. And yeah, it was just good. It was Fire Pro as we know and love it. So what more can you ask for?
Good times all around. I absolutely agree. It was fun to we touched on it numerous times with various aspects of the Fire Pro game last week. It was cool to see where the foundation of a series that we have grown to love and appreciate and play numerous titles from this series. And it was nice to see the foundation of that. But like we said, this week, WWE 13. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover? Because there's a lot to cover about this game.
What are you playing? Last time we spoke, we were talking about the Switch 2 coming out. The Switch 2 came out. It's already got overheating issues. It's already got stick drift. It's already got broken, whatever they're drift cons. Is that what they're called? Joy-Cons.
So this is my question that I wanted to ask you. Do you think there'll ever be a time where stick drift is resolved or not as much of an issue?
No, but I think Nintendo does it right where you could just replace them.
Yeah, but easily. That was a thing all the way back in the N64.
The only way I could see it happening is one day maybe if we have like touchscreen instead of actual thumbsticks or something. But then you would run into completely different issues. So
that's true. I was wondering with with the announcement of the new handheld from Xbox that we talked about off pod,
the Ally,
to think about the future, maybe more of that, like to think about the original Game Boy and then the leap that was made from the original Game Boy even to the Advance to then the DS and then going back and doing like the SP and things like that, to then think of the jump of the PSP and the Vita.
The Vita that everybody forgets about. To
now the Switch and the Switch 2. And then there are many, many from the Steam Deck to the new Xbox version.
It's looking like the Ally is going to be like a Windows. It's going to run Windows 11. So technically you could run Steam games on this Xbox handheld device. Now I'm wondering if it is fully handheld, which I think it is. I don't think it's like the PlayStation one where you have to be on your network.
Oh, so it's a full independent, like,
I'm pretty sure, because it has like cloud gaming, all that. Like you could it's like a Steam Deck. You could take your whole library with you.
That's very, very interesting.
If that's the case, this console that's sitting here that I don't touch might have to go bye-bye and I switch for the handheld.
Do you think when we started the podcast, if someone would have proposed the question to you, 5
Would you
years
be playing
from
on
now,
mouse and keyboard? No.
Oh, yes, for sure. I never would have thought that was going to happen.
Would I be on a PC? No. Would I be playing Fire Pro Wrestling?
Well, I was going to say, do you think that there would have been as much of a focus on the handheld, not necessarily portable in the sense of you're able to take it, and play from anywhere? Do you think that there would have been as much of a focus if we had proposed that question to you 5 years ago?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't think the Steam Deck would even happen, and it's like thriving. I guess you could say thriving. It's something people actually have. It works.
Yeah.
It's not back ordered anymore, and it's a cool thing. And all these Windows handhelds are coming out. It's just, I think people want that freedom, but they also want the option to plug it in like a Switch. You could just plug it into a monitor and you're good to go. You have a console.
And then to think of the pictures that we've seen we've posted it on our social of AJ Styles with the whole Xbox setup and the portable monitor on a plane.
Yes.
To think that essentially that whole console is now just, the size of a screen.
A kid in high school used to bring the one that would attach to the top of the GameCube and just sit by the plug.
It's crazy.
And just play his GameCube.
We've come a long way in gaming.
What you playing anything good?
I've been bouncing around in 2K25.
It's so good. I still love it. Yeah, I finished Split Fiction and moved on to It Takes Two. So same family, different game. You see the similarities in like the play style and how they play.
Yeah.
But I think right now I'm liking Split Fiction a lot more, and it had a really good ending. It was just it was such an amazing game. It sucks that you have to play it with another person, but it was really good.
You mentioned you were going to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland, right?
Yeah, so on top of that, someone gifted me that. I was also gifted Borderlands 3.
Oh, okay.
I've never played any of these, so this is a whole new world to me, other than no, I haven't. Maybe a demo back in the day. I don't know. I've never played any, so this should be interesting.
I think you're going to have a good time. There's an aspect to it that will feel very familiar.
Is Kevin Hart in it?
What'd you say?
Is Kevin Hart in it?
No, that's just the movie.
Okay, cool.
But I think that there's an aspect to it that you're going to enjoy, and yeah, I'm excited to hear how you feel about that game.
I'll fill you in.
Hey guys, this is the part of the show where we plug Johnny's channels and stuff because we got to do it. Only 2 episodes left. YouTube.com/Johnny Clash and of course Twitch.tv/JohnnyFN Clash.
I've been having a lot of fun with my YouTube channel lately, just posting everything. I hit the 500 person threshold this week.
Congratulations.
So that was cool. I'm posting whatever content happens in stream, it's going straight there. Of course, Clash Tube Wrestling. That's my baby. I'm having so much fun with it. I'm about to record like 9 episodes next week, so brace yourself. It's never ending. I wrote all the way through November or December, whatever it was, almost January. It's gonna, I think, go till March, go till the next game comes out, so it should be fun. Go check it out if you haven't. Stephanie Vecker is in the latest episode, so there you
go. Look at that. I am 1 episode behind, so by the time this comes out, I will be caught up.
Nice.
I saw the thumbnail, so I know it.
It's definitely weird doing it alone, but at the same time, I didn't get your frustration before when something goes wrong and you have to do it again, but now I understand because I'm not just sitting watching. But like I guess I could spoil it. I've tried to record something where it was literally just Sting in the middle of the ring and AJ Styles giving him the phenomenal forearm behind him. And I could not believe the 9,000 takes that I had to do.
Yeah.
It would be a knockout the first. I'm like, no, I don't want that. Then you'd be in the wrong position. Then the wrong Sting came out for some reason. I hit a glitch where it was like different Sting. So I just rolled with it. I don't know, but it's a lot of fun. I love the editing part more than anything. Yeah,
I found that same joy in when we were doing GMP 64 too. It was that's like the joint creative is writing the stories and like, okay, here's the baseline. Then you go in and you put it, your spin on it, or vice versa. You'll write a couple leaks and I'll go in, I'll put my spin on it. But then to really like sit through, record all of it, and then watch from, start to finish and do the little tweaks that make the episode complete. That's the real fun creative aspect of it. But hey,
it's good. It's good.
With that, are you ready to dive into WWE 13?
Let's do it.
Guys, if you want your beard to be soft and smell great, then you need Mad Cat Beard Care. Their products are all natural and made to order with vitamins and natural oils to moisturize your skin and to help make your beard healthy and strong.
Our exclusive scent, Play It Forever, is a blood orange, black clove, and vanilla scented beard balm or beard oil that can make your beard have a rich but not overpowering scent. Plus, a portion from their sales go towards finding care for stray cats, covering their medical bills and finding them safe places and forever homes.
Use code GameMarks to save yourself 15% when you place an order over at madcatbeardcare.com. That's 15% off with code GameMarks. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard. All right. WWE 13 released November 2nd, 2012, developed by Yuke's, published by THQ, and 2K Sports. What's that?
So it came out from THQ, but then as we know, we covered in previous episodes, it switches to 2K in the middle of 2013, like in March. So kind of early in 2013.
Oh, yes.
They re-released the game, which a lot of people don't know, and I don't think many people had. I have it down here in the covers with 2K on the cover, which looks so weird.
I 100% forgot about that.
So that happened March 25th, 2013. So it went from THQ in 2012, then the whole debacle where 2K took over the license, and yeah, they put out this game for the end of its run with the 2K logo on it.
Damn.
Now,
right.
Before you get into the rest,
yes.
Here's my story from WWE 13. And I know I've said it before on this podcast or Clash and Burn somewhere, but this is the game that it happened. Hurricane Sandy. Remember that whole thing? Everyone lost their power.
Yep.
I was the hub where people were coming over to charge their phones and whatnot and shower because we still had power. We still have it. We were unaffected. Just like my 3-block radius were unaffected at all. So everyone was coming over, wash their clothes, charge their phones. Like we were the hub. So for some reason, my job stayed open. We literally had a lamp and a generator to run like 5 computers. I think I made one graphic that week that just said, hey, we're closed for Hurricane Sandy. And I just sat there for 9 hours. On the way home from work, I remembered, hey, I have a WWE 13 pre-order at GameStop. I'm going to go buy it. Rain is pouring down. Wind is insane. Street lights are out. I'm like, all right, I'm in this now. Like, I have to go get this game because I have power. This is something I could go do at night if I'm not working tomorrow. Like, I need something to do. Well, everyone else, no one's playing Gears of War, nothing. I finally make the trek to GameStop. There's no roof on the entire strip of stores. So it's like Tropical Smoothie game. It's like a whole strip.
Whoa.
The whole roof is blown off. There's no cars. There's just like shingles everywhere. Like just debris everywhere. I'm like, fuck, that's where I have my pre-order.
Crazy.
So I go across the street to Best Buy. It's in the same parking lot. And they have half their lights on. People are running around grabbing generators, refrigerators, freezers. They have one customer service lane open. That's it for the entire store. I walk up, they're looking at me like the guy's beat. He's been through hell. And I'm like, hey, do you guys have WWE 13? And I know that this guy just wanted to murder me. Like everyone's freaking out, panicking in a hurricane, and I'm looking for the WWE video game. And I remember that car ride home being absolute hell, trying to get home with the street lights out, police directing, with the wind and the rain. I just went into my basement, shut the door for the next probably 3 days, and just played WWE 13. And thinking back, what an asshole I was.
I don't know if you've ever told that story in full.
That's the full story.
Because I definitely remember you saying previously that you picked it up, during Hurricane Sandy.
I think I thought it was WWE 12, but it was 13 because the date matches up.
I don't think that you had mentioned that the GameStop had no roof. The
whole thing was blown off. It was crazy.
That's insane. That
generators, people running. I'm like, hey, you guys got WWE 13.
Good Lord.
I probably finished everything that weekend. Nuts. But anyway, sorry.
No, it's all good. This game was released on the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii. Other wrestling games in 2012. You've got WWE Activity Rumblers, WWE WrestleFest, Wrestling Revolution, Fire Pro Wrestling on the Xbox 360. And John, I would like you to say the last one.
Fire Pro Wrestling in Mobage.
That may be the last time we say that on the podcast.
I'm going to make sure to say it next episode. But I am looking up what the Wii looks like, and it's pretty brutal. I don't think I ever played a WWE game on the Wii, and I can see
the podcast.
Why. Yeah, until the podcast, but I can see why. Pretty rough.
Yeah. It was just, we've talked about it. It's hardware limitations and what standards of content you're able to show within a Nintendo console.
Yeah, but like we said, this was the final game published by THQ before they filed for bankruptcy. The license was picked up by 2K the following year, but that was kind of an end of an era for WWE. We kind of cover that we have a full THQ video game episode with some legal stuff and whatnot. This follows WWE 12, so there are only 2 in the WWE year date series. It's 12 and 13, that's it. And this one focuses mostly on the Attitude Era. So there's no Road to WrestleMania for the first time. And the Attitude Era mode is in there. And it's something pretty cool. You can play through 6 different storylines. We're going to get to those in a little bit. But I think they needed this.
I think this was the thing that made this game stand out. It's the thing that everyone that I knew at the time that was playing this game, it was the thing that they were talking about.
I was watching a video right before we got on of someone else giving a full rundown of 13, and they hit the nail on the head where they were saying like 10, 11, 12. They're all just kind of the same game, Road to WrestleMania, hoorah, hoorah, we're going to beat Triple H, you're going to beat John Cena and all that. This was like a breath of fresh air, and not only do you get the new match types, there's just more grittiness to it from the CM Punk intro video where he's on the stage and the backdrop's the big Punk logo, he's got the megaphone and he's giving his speech. It just had an Attitude Era feel to it. Like it could have been the new Attitude if it continued. And it was just something new and different. And it sucks that there was no 14 from THQ, but you have to imagine it's pretty much what we got with 2K14.
But yeah, this was definitely a game that I remember a lot of my friends picking up. And this was something that they had talked about years after, even after like the next couple of games had come out with the new features and the new titles and things like that, but they were still talking about WWE 13 and the fact that it had a specific Attitude Era and that, at the time, everything just was kind of clicking with this game and how it was playing. And at the time, it was very well received. So yeah, there was a lot of hype, even years beyond release for this.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, what was it? WWE 16? Yeah, 2K16, that Stone Cold, you go through his whole thing. So it's similar, but not exactly. But let's get into what we have here. So you have your exhibition modes, your Attitude Era, your universe, your creation suite, which has a really cool revamped create an arena mode that's quick and easy to use. And you could make the old SmackDown fist. You could do whatever you want here. It's pretty cool. Online, and then, of course, your My WWE with all your options. Your match types, you have your normal match, Extreme Rules, Hell in a Cell, Inferno, Iron Man, Ladder, Last Man Standing, Steel Cage, Submission, Table, TLC, I Quit, which is new this year, Battle Royale, Elimination Chamber, Special Referee, which is also new. I think the last time we saw this was SmackDown vs. Raw 2007.
Yep.
Backstage Brawl, Championship Scramble, the Royal Rumble, where you could have 10, 20, or 30. And, of course, King of the Ring, which has a really cool animation of you sitting in the chair after. The throne.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on it before. Let's talk about the Attitude Era mode featuring 35 superstars and 60 cutscenes. Now, the cutscenes.
There's some questionable ones.
I was going to say, how do you feel about how they handled the cutscenes in this game? Because we've talked about it. There are some people who love this style. There's some people who don't like this style.
I think they did a nice combination of both. I'll say that. Because there are the real clips in there, but there's also like they did the Montreal Screwjob where backstage the in-game character, like the models are plotting against Brett, like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Vince, and they slam the door. And then after, Brett's in the ring doing the WCW, but as his character.
Yeah, So we talked about this with the release of 2K25. Your opinion on this is that you prefer the in-game rendered version or the...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it just helps with the flow. There's not like...
So much smoother.
I will say, though, the first time that you see that transition from the live version of it into the exact setting of the game, like a 1-to-1, is pretty cool.
Yeah, the thing is, I didn't hate the other way, but there were limitations, like with the Rey Mysterio one and all that, that you don't want the finish of the match to be a cutscene. Like you're halfway through and now all of a sudden you have to watch 5 minutes of a cutscene of the real match. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just it be a smooth transition. Maybe you get the pin, which I noticed they did more this year. It was just like win, pin, or submission. You know, you're done. So,
you also get custom video packages that were created with editors from WWE so that the context for the feuds was accurate and, it was the best possible presentation for all those video packages. There's also the Monday Night War chart.
Any chance they get, they could just jab that knife in deeper to WCW. It's crazy. They just like to shove it in their face. You don't hear that about ECW, right? It's just mostly WCW. But hey, man. That was Vince's biggest feat. I just finally finished the documentary on Netflix, and that was one of the, I guess, crazier episodes because it puts it all in just one episode, all the WCW stuff. And, you had the whole Monday Night Wars show, which was really cool, but I don't know. It's cool just seeing it, again, just summed up with, like, different takes and all that. So,
yeah. And wrapping up the Attitude Era mode, you've got, of course, entrances, arenas, TV graphics, all recreated authentically from the era. Reliving iconic moments. We've talked about it. There's unlocks. There's over 100 items that can be unlocked. You've got Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross on commentary.
Yeah, the only mode Jim Ross is featured in this game.
And I was going to say, and JR is only featured in Attitude Era mode. And this mode spans a 2-year season of 65 matches featuring Shawn Michaels versus Mankind all the way to The Rock versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 25.
I love that Shawn Mankind match. So that was one I was like super happy to have in here.
Oh, yeah. And you've got like a similar kind of breakup to how you have in the showcase mode now. It's broken up into storyline chapters where you're featuring storylines from the legends. So you've got Austin, The Rock, DX, Undertaker, Mick Foley, Kane, and Bret Hart. And there is also a off-script epilogue covering post-Attitude events leading into the Ruthless Aggression era.
Gotta say it right.
Ruthless Aggression.
Slap.
Featuring stars like Lita, Trish Stratus, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And when you look at the roster in this game, it's got that everyone, you see the icons, they're all on one page, like the old arcade style, which we love. And half of the roster is normal. And then the other half, like on the bottom, is Attitude Era. So it's separated as well. Yeah, pretty cool.
That's going to do it for the Attitude Era mode. John, do you want to take us through the Universe mode?
So, Universe mode, we know. We love it. This one was developed by Paul Heyman to kind of make it more realistic, have more storytelling. I believe that was a selling point here of the game. I remember seeing that when this game came out. Custom arenas and stadiums can be used on any show. You're divided into SmackDown, Raw WWE Superstar category. So major shows can have championship assigned themes, roster, belts, and everything's fully customizable for pretty much the first time. Like they kind of take the handcuffs off here. Pay-per-view creation has finally returned, allowing customization of participating rosters and event themes and matches. Like, so you want an all ladder match, Money in the Bank, whatever. It'll be consistent across the board. You could add, delete, or move shows in the week, which is something we mentioned before. We did GMP 24. We did Clash 2 Wrestling, and that's something that's pretty key because I don't want that. I don't want Raw and SmackDown on there. I want my shows. I want my win-loss records. On their stats with title rankings and whatnot, you could have a minor, major, tag team, or Divas title as well. We're still using Divas in 2012. And dynamic branching storylines finally with over 200 possibilities based on in-match decisions. So This is not the universe we know now. It's getting there. But this was kind of, okay, we don't have a story mode this year. This is your story mode. You could do it.
Yeah. Which
now, we want to go over this big ass roster.
I mean, we've read longer rosters, Sean.
All right. How we want to divide this up?
I'll
take superstars, you take attitude.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. You have Alberto Del Rio, Alicia Fox, Beth Phoenix, Big Show, Brie Bella, Brock Lesnar, Brodus Clay, Chris Jericho, Christian, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, Epico, Eve Torres, Heath Slater, Hunico, Jack Swagger, Jinder Mahal, John Cena, Justin Gabriel, Kane, Kelly, Karma, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, Nikki Bella, Primo, R-Truth, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricardo Rodriguez, Santino Marella, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Ted DiBiase Jr., The Great Khali, The Miz, The Rock, Triple H, The Undertaker, Wade Barrett, and Zack Ryder.
And your Attitude Era roster. You have Animal, The Big Boss Man, Billy Gunn, Bradshaw, Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Cactus Jack, Chris Jericho 99, Christian 99, Dude Love, Eddie Guerrero, Edge 99, Farouk, Hawk, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Kane 97 to 99, Ken Shamrock, Lita 2000, Mankind, Mark Henry 98, Mr. McMahon, Paul Bearer, Paul White, Road Dogg, Shane McMahon, Shawn Michaels, Stephanie McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Godfather, The Rock 98 to 99, Triple H 99, Trish Stratus, The Undertaker 97 to 98, Big Van Vader, and X-Pac. And then your alumni, you've got Booker T, Edge, JBL, John Cena 04, John Laurinaitis, Kevin Nash, and Lita.
And John Cena 04 has that Doctor of Thugonomics theme song.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a little bit of DLC to cover, John. You want to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we'll get into the DLC, the art, and a whole lot more.
Let's do it. All right, so the DLC was announced on October 3rd, released over 3 months. You're going to get the Attitude Era Superstars pack, which includes Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty, easy for me to say, Grandmaster Sexay, Gangrel, and Val Venus. Includes Accelerator Boost to unlock all content and edit attributes, of course. Then you have the WWE Superstars pack, which includes Tensai, I don't remember. Ryback, Drew McIntyre, Yoshitatsu, AJ Lee, and Natalya, and it includes a championship title pack, which is 10 belts from across WWE, WCW, ECW, and the AWA. You get a free alternate attire for The Undertaker. You get Your Welcome in 5 different language pack, which includes Damian Sandow, Antonio Cesaro, The Usos, Brian Pillman, and Chainsaw Charlie. It includes 20 new moves, and Layla is included as a free bonus character.
Damn.
Crazy the names we just read and where they are now for majority of them.
This is the Attitude Era section of this roster really just makes it like a mashup of two worlds.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how you're getting so many 90s wrestlers thrown in. Do
you remember at this time there was a street fight between Punk and Vince McMahon on Raw? And everyone was saying that night, like, oh my God, the Attitude Era, CM Punk's bringing the Attitude Era back. So I think they leaned into this as hard as they could. And I mean, like, I guess that could just lead us right into the next thing. CM Punk's on the cover.
Yeah, he is.
It's a pretty cool artistic color. He's in black and white. There's the red tones on his tattoos sticking out. The big red X behind him with the X he's making with his fist. WWE 13 logo, which is nice and grungy. And yeah, it fits the whole Attitude Era vibe. I think that's clearly what they were going for. And it would fit right in with 1999. And I love it.
I was going to say, we've talked about this the last couple WWE games. This one works as a poster too. Like, this is just,
oh yeah,
you print this out. This is a cool poster to have. Like, if you're a CM Punk guy, this is a hell of a poster to have.
I'm not, but at the time I was, and I loved having this cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is a Stone Cold pack as well. So,
Yeah.
so if you pre-order, you get Mike Tyson with the DX get up and everything. This also includes Disc 3 of Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bottom line and the most popular superstar of all time DVD with the PlayStation 3. And you get a cool cover, which is the Stone Cold skull with the red eyes and WWE 13.
Again,
now,
would be a cool poster.
It would be a cool poster. I think it's lacking a little bit. I would have liked to see Stone Cold in like the Punk cover.
I would say this feels like if they made a poster for Stone Cold that didn't have Stone Cold actually on it, this is probably what it would have looked like.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but whatever. What's my opinion matter? But the back says "Live the Revolution." It's got WWE Attitude Era, WWE Live, Predator Technology 2.0, which is cool. So the acclaimed engine returns with enhancements to deliver the most fluid and fun WWE action to date. Multiplayer and create it all. Create superstars, arenas, stages, finishing moves, and entrances. Go online to share and download your creations to add to your game. So it's always been about the creation suite, which is why I believe AEW Fight Forever. If you're listening right now, that's probably the first time you heard of that in months. So we also have the other cover here.
Oh, I was going to say, this does the very important thing of being a wrestling game and showing wrestling screenshots on the back.
Yeah. And something else we're going to get to in a little bit. The ring can collapse in this game, and that's on the back cover, and that's pretty damn cool.
It can.
But under here we have the other cover with the 2K Sports logo, which they were using 2K Sports, not just 2K.
Oh,
right. Let me look at
So you,
yeah,
so
2K18
does
not have sports.
I thought you were about to break out a copy of 13.
I might have it somewhere, to be honest. I don't know. But when you get down to the graphics, once you get to these games, there's really not much to talk about. Everything's really cool. I think this game had a lot of smooth textures that could have been not as glistening.
Well, I was going to say, the way that you phrased it, there's not a lot to talk about, but in a good way, right?
In a good way, yeah, because it's looking like you're watching TV at this point.
Yeah, this is.
I like that the HUD is like hidden. It's just hovering over your wrestler. There's not much in your way. You just press one button, you get to see the body meter. I just think it's lacking the texture of like looking like real stuff. Like the canvas has the texture on it, but maybe like the crowd is too smooth, the wrestlers are too smooth.
Yeah.
There's not that detail that we're used to now.
Yeah, and this is still maybe on the heels of it, but this is the end maybe of the era where everyone was kind of looking like an action figure.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't meant to, and at the time, like John said, this is like super realistic and basically what everything looked like on TV. Everyone has, like John was saying, very, very smooth skin.
I will say this, back then the belts looked way better than they do now. Not the actual appearance, but the way they like sit on the wrestler. There's a lot of tearing now, like a lot of parts moving through the belts, and I don't know why they can't fix that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend to.
No, if someone's wearing a trench coat, maybe give them something different where they're holding the belt. I don't know. Do they have to wear it? No one really wears belts.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's a good point.
I don't know.
You make a good point.
Something stupid I'm going to nitpick because everything looks so good. Did you know? Did you know WWE 13 was the first game to introduce OMG moments, cinematic in-match moments like breaking the ring with a superplex or crashing through the barricade?
Did you know WWE 13 was the first game to feature spectacular sound, where crowd reactions dynamically respond to wrestlers and moves? Cheers, boos, and chants would rise naturally as matches got more and more intense.
Did you know this game is on eBay disc only from $8 to $12? 43 to 50 new. The Austin 316 sealed edition, $160 to $225.
Damn.
That's pretty crazy. So I'm not about to go get that, especially I don't have a PS3 and I don't have a reason to keep it on my desk behind me anymore. This podcast has one more episode, so. But OMG moments, these are something we still have now. It's the way you used to get out of a cage for a brief time. You could do them off the top of a ladder. They really evolved over time. And I think the coolest one is the superplex through the ring. It just ends the match.
Do you remember the first time that you saw that in game?
It was crazy.
It was such a cool experience to be like, this is happening. I like this is really in a video game and you could do it. Like,
the first time I think I saw that, I don't know if they did it before this on TV, was Brock Lesnar in the Big Show. What, in like 2002, 2003? I remember the Silver SmackDown.
yeah.
I feel like maybe around this time or even later, they overdid it a little bit. They did it a couple times where it loses like its coolness after a while, but it was cool to have it here. I enjoyed it very much. But with that, I think it's time to relax a little bit. I think it's time for some R&R, some ratings and reviews. Metacritic with a 76 out of 100 for the PS3 and a 78 out of 100 for the 360. Now, EGM with a 9 out of 10 on the Xbox, Eurogamer with a 9 out of 10 on the PS3. G4 gives it a 3 out of 5 on the Xbox. Game Informer, 9 out of 10 for both. Game Revolution with a 4 out of 5 stars on the 360. The rest are all 360. Game Trailers, 8.5 out of 10. IGN, 8.4 out of 10. Xbox Magazine, 8 out of 10. Now, IGN says WWE 13 feels like you're listening to a couple of guys reading generic statements off of cue cards. But they still gave it an 8.4 out of 10. I don't understand what they have against wrestling, but they will always find something bad to say, but give it a high rating. So I'm really not sure. But overall, this game is pretty good, pretty high ratings. Now, I want to go back and look at WWE 12 and see where that compared, because, I mean, these are really good. And WWE 12, there are some 6 out of 7, 6.7s, 5s. So I guess this was a big improvement at the time. I think it was the breath of fresh air people wanted, especially with the Attitude Era stuff.
Oh, 100%. It was a change for the better. Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, with that, John, it is now time for the most important rating, at least in the context of this podcast. It's time for you and I to rate the game.
The game!
All right, John. WWE 13. Will you play it forever? Or future endeavor?
It's a big old play it forever. I have fond memories of this game, and I don't think that's gonna change for a long time. So I'm gonna give it the big old play it forever. What about you, George?
Same. Nothing to add. Tons of fond memories playing this game. Thought it held up well. Had a great time playing it and taking this trip back down memory lane.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I was going to say, and it's one of those games that is fun to play single player, and it is arguably just as fun, if not better, to go through the mayhem of all the other match types with someone else. But this game is equally as fun to do solo with Attitude Mode or Attitude Era Mode, and as well as all the other crazy game times.
Yeah, if you have 90 minutes, go watch our Last Man Standing match that we had to alter the ending to make it work.
That'll be cut down to be a little more YouTube friendly.
But I was saying in that playthrough that 2K15 to me didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. It had some weirdness to it where moves took too long. This game was just right. This had that arcadey feeling that the old SmackDown vs. Raws or the SmackDown games had, where everything was fast, moves were fluent, you could go from one thing to the next. Some stuff didn't make sense, like the front suplex through a table where the guy's knees go through it. It didn't make sense, but you didn't have to think about, okay, I have to do this, then I have to do this. You just do it. It's one button, you just do it. This game was easy to figure out, easy to pick up, and yeah, I loved it. So play it forever.
All right, another double play it forever. But with that, John, are you ready to get into the soft lock question?
Let's go.
All right, the soft lock is the segment on the podcast where one of our mega marks from our Discord gives us a topic to debate, a question to answer. It's a question of the week with a fancy name. This week, the question comes from Soups. And Soups' question is, if you could add one more game to the GMP Hall of Games, what would it be? Damn. Well, that's a great question. And I think before we do that, we should recap what's currently in there.
Do you have that list?
I have it pulled up.
Okay, cool.
We have Saturday Night Slam Masters. We have WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. And we have Fire Pro Wrestling World. We also have WWF WrestleFest, TNA Impact, and WCW versus NWO Revenge.
So the only reason No Mercy is not on is because we didn't play it yet. It didn't get to play it forever. That was the
criteria. Has to be that we had played the game in order for it to be eligible.
So obviously that would go in there.
100%. I say that if we both agree, let's say this. We both agree that No Mercy's going in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that that's already in. Let's just add something that's not No Mercy, because that's the super obvious answer.
Fire Pro Wrestling combination tag. I said it last week. First ever Fire Pro game. Still holds up. I think it would be cool. Other than that,
I have one that's going to surprise you, I think.
Okay, go for it.
Day of Reckoning.
Yes, absolutely. But what about like the first SmackDown? What about Def Jam Vendetta?
Damn, see that's
like there's so many.
Yeah. Oh,
All Stars. Would you put All Stars? I might put All Stars.
I would. All Stars, and then you're getting into. Oh man,
There's a lot. ECW Hardcore Revolution.
Man, Def Jam Vendetta.
Maybe one day we would have just done a handheld wing, and I could have put Road to WrestleMania.
No, I feel like there would have been
2000.
A time. If there would have been a time where we would have been able to add the. Oh, you know what else is one that should be in there? NES Pro Wrestling.
NES Pro Wrestling. Kaneko Man.
One of the Kaneko Man games. 100% should be in there.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot.
Any
surprised.
Dickey games?
I'm surprised that you did not put Day of Reckoning in, like, first year.
I think the reason I didn't, it might have been tied for the Patreon pick, and then it swung a different way when I already made my pick.
Okay.
That was either this year or last year. I don't remember.
Okay. So first year Patreon pick was Slam Masters. Second year Patreon pick was WrestleFest.
One of those was tied with WrestleMania, the arcade game, too, and also swung a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you ended up picking WrestleMania, the arcade game. Uh-huh. So that was probably that year was the swing.
Yeah. But there's so many.
There's
so many Legends of Wrestling, even though
the easy answer is No Mercy. But there are countless others that should be. But yeah, as always, this is a great question, Soups. Let us know somewhere on social media at GameMarksPod if you could add a game into the video game Hall of Fame. And it's a wrestling-based game, whether it's our Hall of Games or just the general one. Think that's a worthy answer. All forms of social media at GameMarksPod. John, next episode, the final episode of the podcast.
Damn.
We said it from the first episode when we were planning. It was either going to be the last episode or a game that we never officially covered because it is just so iconic. You almost don't need to cover it, but we're going to do it anyway. Next week, we are playing the N64 classic WWF No Mercy.
I can't believe we just said that out loud.
It's crazy. It's a
Crazy.
crazy thought.
We might have to bring out some old feuds, if you know what I mean.
Also feel like that's going to be a real long episode because there's a lot to talk about, a lot of history. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to it just because that may be the game that we have the most experience playing. So
100%.
I have high expectations for that episode and what we'll be able to put together for it. But guys, as always, youtube.com/GameMarksPodcast for our weekly playthrough videos and a whole lot more. PodExchange.shop for all of our exclusive merchandise. ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod for our shirts. At GameMarksPod on all forms of social media. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And we will see you in the next one. Johnny Clash, do that thing.
Game over. Marks.
Game Marks Podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no Game Shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.